On the surface, Candy, 1968, looked like a wild psychedelic comedy, but behind the glitter and madness, the movie hid shocking truths. From secret feuds to bizarre production choices, and even moments that nearly destroyed careers, this film was chaos disguised as art. And when you find out what really happened to Marlon Brando and why Ringo Starr almost quit, you'll never see this cult classic the same way again. Stick around till the end for the wildest facts, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Number 1. Marlon Brando's strange behavior. Marlon Brando was already known for being unpredictable, but on the set of Candy, he took things to a bizarre new level. He insisted on rewriting his dialogue, improvising entire scenes, and even refused to follow the director's instructions. His performance as the guru became so offbeat that crew members wondered if he was intentionally sabotaging the film. Some insiders even claimed Brando was mocking the script while acting. This chaotic energy gave his scenes an odd brilliance, but frustrated everyone else on set. What's stranger is that despite his minimal screen time, Brando was paid a massive sum, making him one of the highest paid cast members in a movie he didn't seem to take seriously. Fans often say his unpredictable energy is what made Candy unforgettable. Number 2. Ringo Starr almost quit. When Ringo Starr, the Beatles' drummer, appeared in Candy, fans thought it was just another lighthearted cameo. But behind the scenes, Ringo was uneasy with the film's surreal and risque content. Playing a Mexican gardener in exaggerated fashion, Starr later admitted he wasn't comfortable with how strange the role turned out. What's shocking is that his part was meant to be much bigger, but Ringo nearly walked off set after clashing with production over cultural stereotypes. Despite the awkwardness, his scenes have since become cult favorites, with many viewers pointing to them as an example of how far the movie pushed boundaries. For Beatles fans, it remains one of Ringo's most unusual and weirdest screen appearances ever. Number 3. An all-star cast of misfits. One of the wildest things about Candy is how many legendary stars joined the film even though the script was chaotic. Richard Burton, Walter Matthau, James Coburn, and John Huston all appeared in small but unforgettable roles. Each actor reportedly signed on more out of curiosity or for a quick paycheck than genuine interest in the story. What's weird is that none of these big names ever shared scenes together. Instead, the film plays like a surreal parade of random celebrity cameos, each more bizarre than the last. Critics at the time said the movie felt less like a story and more like a collage of Hollywood egos clashing. Today, fans look back and wonder, how did so many A-list legends get roped into such a chaotic psychedelic experiment? Number 4. Richard Burton's drunken performance. Richard Burton was cast as a drunken poet, but many say he didn't even need to act because he was drinking heavily throughout production. Crew members whispered that Burton arrived on set already intoxicated, slurring lines and stumbling through takes. Ironically, his inebriated behavior added authenticity to his performance, making it both hilarious and tragic. Burton reportedly treated the role as a joke, admitting later that he only did the movie for quick money and fun. His chaotic presence, though, fit perfectly with Candy's surreal tone, blurring the line between reality and performance. Fans now debate whether Burton was acting or just being himself. Either way, his eccentric appearance is one of the most talked about aspects of the film, turning a small role into something unforgettable. Number 5. Walter Matthau's helicopter scene. Walter Matthau delivered one of the film's strangest appearances as a deranged general who suddenly arrives in a helicopter. The sequence was so random and disconnected from the rest of the story that audiences were left scratching their heads. Matthau, who was known for more serious and comedic roles, later confessed that he had no idea what the film was about, even while shooting. His performance became a symbol of Candy's absurdity, with critics noting how out of place it felt. What's weirder is that Matthau filmed his entire role in just 2 days, collecting a hefty paycheck for minimal effort. Fans now look back at the helicopter scene as a perfect example of how Candy embraced chaos, turning serious actors into surreal caricatures. Number 6. James Coburn's surgeon role. In one of the film's most outrageous sequences, James Coburn played a mad surgeon performing bizarre operations. The scenes were so over the top that even Coburn himself admitted he struggled not to laugh during filming. Rumor has it that he added much of his dialogue on the spot, improvising in ways that made the already absurd script even stranger. Some critics argue that Coburn's manic performance was one of the few highlights, injecting genuine energy into the confusing story. Behind the scenes, however, Coburn privately mocked the project, calling it a circus of Hollywood gone wrong. Still, his outlandish role is remembered fondly by fans of cult cinema, proving that even a serious actor could fully embrace Candy's psychedelic madness. Number 7. John Huston as a doctor. Legendary director John Huston shocked fans by showing up in Candy, not behind the camera, but as a bizarre doctor character. Huston, who was responsible for masterpieces like The Maltese Falcon, treated his role as pure fun, bringing an eccentric energy to his scenes. But many viewers couldn't believe such a respected filmmaker would agree to appear in what critics described as a chaotic, nonsensical project. Behind the scenes, Huston allegedly admitted he only accepted the role because the paycheck was too good to refuse. Some crew members joked that Huston seemed to be parodying the very idea of acting itself, treating the role as a game. Today, fans see his cameo as a strange reminder that even cinema legends sometimes take roles for reasons beyond art. Number 8. Eva Allin's breakout role. At just 20 years old, Eva Allin was cast as Candy, the naive girl at the center of the madness. For her, this was supposed to be the role that launched her into stardom. But instead of being celebrated, Allin was overwhelmed by the bizarre script and the heavy personality surrounding her. She later admitted that working alongside giants like Marlon Brando and Richard Burton was intimidating. Many critics dismissed her performance as lost in the chaos, though some fans believe her innocent presence was exactly what the movie needed. Sadly, instead of boosting her career, Candy marked the beginning of its decline. Allin eventually left Hollywood, making her role a bittersweet reminder of how a big break can sometimes backfire. Number 9. Based on a controversial novel. What many don't know is that Candy wasn't an original script. It was adapted from a satirical novel by Terry Southern and Mason Hoffenberg, published in 1958. The book itself was already controversial, filled with surreal, adult-themed satire mocking consumer culture and American values. Turning such a wild story into a movie was always going to be risky, but the filmmakers leaned into the chaos instead of toning it down. The result was a psychedelic trip that audiences either loved or hated. There was no in-between. Censors were shocked by how much of the novel's controversial material made it into the final cut. Today, fans of cult literature still view the film as an outrageous, imperfect tribute to the book that started it all. Number 10. Filmed across Europe. Unlike most Hollywood films, Candy was largely shot across Europe, especially in Italy. This gave the production a unique style but also created countless challenges. Crew members complained about language barriers, cultural clashes, and chaotic scheduling. Rumor has it that some actors didn't even know when they were supposed to film their scenes until the last minute. The European locations, however, added a surreal backdrop that matched the film's psychedelic tone. For many, the disconnection between the glamorous sets and the nonsensical story only made Candy stranger. Fans now say the unusual shooting locations gave the movie a dreamlike quality, making it feel less like Hollywood and more like a European experiment gone wild.